right. Hello, Home Service Pros. Welcome to the Battle Plan Marketing Podcast, episode number 129. Today, we've got an awesome special guest on the show, Levi Torres at a High Fly Plumbing, family-owned business out of Denver, Littleton, Colorado area. Looks like they got 2 locations. Got some 2,000 plus reviews on Google with awesome rating. Another 200 on Facebook, another 200 on Yelp. They're absolutely crushing it out there. So without further ado,
welcome to the Battle Plan Marketing Podcast for contractors. Get actionable advice and tactics on how to grow your home service company. Plus interviews with industry experts dropping value bombs in marketing, sales, and operations. And now let's power up your home service biz with your host, Mark Ambrose of Battle Plan Marketing.
Welcome to the show, Levi.
Yes, thanks for having me, and thank you for all the kind words. We definitely make sure we do our best to keep our reputation up in the community.
Oh, you're doing an awesome job. And, there's no mistake in 2,000. Actually, you get like 2,500 just on those 3 platforms alone. So hats off to you. You earned every word of it. So let's dive in. Tell us what you guys do, where you do it, who you do it for, Levi.
Yeah, so we're a residential service plumbing company in Denver, Colorado. Like you said, we do have 2 locations. We actually are just getting ready to open our 3rd location in Golden, Colorado.
Nice.
So that's in the process right now. We started in 2012, but we were a new construction remodel company for the most part from 2012 to the end of 2015. It wasn't until 2016 that we really made the switch to become a service-based plumbing company, and was one of the best decisions we've ever done. So yeah, we pretty much handle all residential plumbing service, all plumbing in homes. We only do about a 2% commercial service, so not much commercial service at all, but we do mess with it a little bit. We do focus heavily on homeowners and the residential side.
Nice. Is the Golden, Colorado location, is that in that Denver, Littleton area?
It is. So Denver is a pretty big area as far as with suburbs and things like
Definitely.
that. So I now have a Denver, a Littleton, and a Golden location, and all those locations are still about a 30-minute drive from each other.
Nice. Perfect.
So now it'll allow us to hopefully miss the traffic of the center of the city. That's the goal.
Nice. I like it. Did you acquire or did you open new?
Open new.
Yep.
Yeah, all of our growth to this point has been done organically. We haven't done any acquisitions to this point. It's all just been organic growth through just work and brand.
Sweet. So what prompted you to open up High Five? By the way, congrats on the name.
Yes, thank you.
I like it. And it's probably sparks a lot of fun out there in the field and stuff, I imagine, too. So
it does, yes.
Hats off to you for branding. Did you get together with a branding ambassador or somebody before that? Or
we didn't. It was actually kind of crazy how it happened. I was a plumbing service technician for a very progressive plumbing company here in Denver, Colorado. And it just came to the point where I was one of the top techs there. I really didn't see a future or where I would be going with that company. And so we made the decision to start a plumbing company. And so me and my wife were sitting at the kitchen table, and she said a name. And I said, dang, that's a good name, High Five. And when we high-fived each other, we were like, High Five Plumbing. Every call ends with a high five. And so that just literally started from there. We actually do. We actually, one of our key performance indicators we track with our team is how many high five pictures they get with customers out in the field. So we definitely get a lot. We definitely make sure that we use the high five to our advantage.
That's brilliant. So at the end of each job, the service tech, let me take a photo, give me a high five, and then off to social media channels it goes and stuff?
Yeah, exactly. We actually have a board up in our office called, it's the Be the Reason Someone High Fives Today. And so every technician and every employee has their own board. And then on that board is all of their reviews and all of their high five pictures, and we just post them all up there. And so we got thousands of pictures high-fiving customers. And
that's awesome, man.
One thing that's common with all of them is the customer is always smiling. And every single one of them, very rarely are they upset when you're getting a high five picture.
Yeah, because it's a fun thing to do. Great culture building there. So do you do like performance pay based on high fives pictures and stuff too? Or
we run contests, for the most part. High five pictures are a standard. You know what I mean? It's not really something that is an option when you come to work for High Five. We're going to expect you to get some pictures. Right. And so we do little contests. Like we just gave a full family photo session away to whoever got the most high five pictures last month. And the winner actually got 51 high five pictures last month. So
Nice.
that was pretty cool.
Nice. And so the gift was like a portrait studio or something like that, like a family portrait?
Yeah, it was like a full photography session with a professional photography for your family. So you can go get full family photos, individual photos with you and your family if you needed to. So yeah, it was like a full photography session.
Nice. I see. We'll come back to it later, but I see how you really integrate the community into your business. But I want to come back to that in a little bit. So I really like what you guys are doing out there for that. So tell me, Levi, so if I'm a customer in Denver or Littleton or wherever, what separates High Five from the crowd? Why should I choose High Five to do business with?
Yeah, that's a typical question that a lot of people ask, like what sets you apart, and we do all the stuff that a lot of people do, the shoe covers and somebody calls you when we're on our way, and we do a lot of those things. The difference with High Five is we really do put our focus on personal development of our team first. So our mission here at High Five is to come together as more than individuals to create a positive impact on our team, our clients, and our community, one high five at a time. And it's in that order for a reason is we put our focus on our team, and our team is our number one focus even before our clients are. We have to make sure that our team is 100% on board with what High Five's trying to do, so then that way they treat our clients right. So we do way more personal development than any other company that I've ever been a part of or that I've ever communicated with. We have 3 days of training a week for our technicians and our office people. We invest a lot of time and training into making sure that our people are doing it the way that the High Five expects it to be done.
I like it.
So that's my biggest thing is we do invest a crazy amount of time back into our people. That sets us apart from most places.
I like it. What are those training days? Is like a 1 hour per day in the morning before they head out, or?
Exactly. Yeah. We have 3 different days. We have Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday that we do trainings, and each day is something different. So Tuesday is 100% based for client experience, like how we operate inside their house, inside their special place. And so that's what Tuesday's all about. Every shift has a 1 hour meeting that day. We have multiple meetings because we have a couple different shifts that we rotate, but every shift has that meeting that day. Wednesday's trainings are 100% technical training. So it's to become a better plumber, like how to install water heaters better, how to install pumps better. And then Thursdays is how to get better at High Five plumbing. So where to park your truck, how to turn in paperwork, how to properly submit pictures. So it's really just to make a full circle of how we can guarantee success.
I like it. I like it. Do you take feedback from the techs? Hey, we could, if we did this, that, and the other thing, maybe that'll speed up or better quality or whatever have you?
Yeah, that's exactly what Thursday is really designed for. So for example, at High Five, we're a very systematized company. So at High Five, we have systems and operational handbooks for everybody from management down. So When I hire a new plumbing technician, it's kind of like, here's the book. And if you can master everything in this book, then you'll be successful here. And so we really do every Thursday, we put a system up on the TV in the training room, and we read through these systems word for word. And then they have the opportunity then at that point to make any edits or suggestions to that system. So really every week we're updating and consistently updating our systems to what the majority feels is the way it needs to be ran.
That's awesome, man. Hats off to you. Where did you learn all your operating procedures? Where did you learn? You learned your checklist from the previous company, or you pull some stuff from several companies? What made you so good at SOPs?
So really, I got to give a little shout out to, it's called the Blue Collar Success Group. And that's I partnered with them in 2016. So from day one, when I became a service company, I partnered with the Blue Collar Success Group. Nice. And so I've had a service business coach with us every step of the way. And they've just really given me a kind of a roadmap of what I had to do to be successful. And so I know a lot of people get that roadmap, but it was the fact that I was able to implement the things that they were saying. And so we started implementing systems, and I saw how it did nothing but make my company better. And so then we started to have everybody start to build systems. And once you get your company systematized, it makes it easy for everybody, because now your managers are no longer the ones holding anybody accountable. My managers don't feel like they're the ones getting on their team anymore now, because there's a system that says how to do it. And we all agreed that this is the best way to do it. And so it's not them, it's the system now holding them accountable. And so I really have, ever since we've done that, it's been a crazy how easy it is to grow when you
That's
have those
awesome.
in place.
That's awesome. Yeah, we had Chris Crew from
Oh
Blue
yeah.
Collar
Uh-huh.
on our show. Let me give that episode out to the listeners there. Episode number 124, Blue Collar Success Group. So I agree. I really enjoyed the conversation with Chris, learned a lot there. And it really does everything. Your quality of customer service depends on your team and how well trained they are and the A to Z. So you get your team right. Like you said, you start with your team and then the customers will, they'll get great service, right? It just falls right from one to the other. So nice work. How'd you find those guys?
So crazy story. So the founder of the Blue Collar Success Group, his name's Kenny Chapman. Chris Crew, who's the president.
Right.
When Kenny Chapman was still in the field doing training for Blue Collar Success Group, he came and trained me when I was a technician at my previous company. And I really just liked his training. I liked the way he trained. And so then fast forward, 4 years down the road, I became a business owner. And when I switched over to service, I just remembered how I liked him as a trainer, as a technician. And I had his number from a friend and I just gave him a call. And so from day one, I've been working with Blue Collar and they've really, like I said, gave me a roadmap of like, hey, if you are willing to put the time and energy in to do these things, then we'll be able to help you hit the goals you want. And I've been with them ever since. So.
Nice. Good work. So you still with them? Do they do follow-up quarterly trainings and stuff like that? Or how's it work?
Yeah. So the Blue Collar Success Group is pretty much a full training company. They do call center training. They do dispatch training. They do sales training, service training. They have bi-yearly events that you can send your managers to, that you can send your call center to. They do off-site trainings. They'll come on-site and train for you if you'd like. They're really an all-inclusive boutique style training company that, we use them as much as we physically can. We send trainings. We send employees to their off-sites trainings every time they have them. It just does nothing but create value, and it helps massively for recruiting. Like that's something that we really have done well, is we don't struggle to find plumbers when we want to find plumbers with our recruiting styles and the way we do it. And when you can say, no, you're going to get continued education, like it's going to be continued education. And we have proof of how it will change your results. It really does make it easy to recruit.
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome. Talk about that, your recruiting. So, I had Tommy Mello, which dropped today, I think, episode 128. Mm-hmm. So he's a big fan of performance pay, training, and always be recruiting, right? So, and it looks like to me on your site and stuff that you guys are also, you're promoting your brand, which recruits customers and technicians and office staff and stuff. So talk a little bit about your recruiting efforts, if you don't mind.
Yeah, definitely. So, recruiting, I always hear it in the trades. Everybody says, I can't find good people. We can't find good people. That's kind of overall thing you hear. And so, I was once in that category as well, too. Like, dang, there's just no good people. But I really wanted to kind of come up with a way to solve the problem. So we really started in order to be able to recruit all the time, we needed to be able to implement plumbers of any skill level at any point. And so the first thing we did was we created an apprenticeship program that now is documented, and we can prove that, from zero plumbing knowledge to 18 months down the road, we can get you to where you have your first level of license and making a pretty substantial amount of money at that point. And so once we created that program, it now allowed me to hire new construction plumbers, even though they didn't want to do service plumbing yet, because they could go to the install crews. I could hire a 1-year apprentice because I could put them as a field apprentice, because I created a training program where I could implement and put people in any point of their plumbing journey. And then now once they get into high five, they now get high five training, which now will help them get to where we hope they get someday. But we had to create a process on how to get them in the door. And so now that allowed us to start to open up to all plumbers. You didn't have to be a service plumber. You didn't have to feel like you had to go sell plumbing, because that's another big mindset problem that a lot of people have, is they think they have to go sell stuff, which isn't the truth. That's just a mental block.
Right.
But, we did that. And so naturally, we still started to see some problems with getting enough people because at the rate we've been growing, we're on a 30% growth rate from year to date from last year so far
Great.
this year. And that's been pretty consistent, if not higher, over the last 3 years. And so we're consistently trying to bring people in. But now what we've found really works well, and I'm sure it would work well for everybody, is, we work I'm in the Denver market, which is a very highly sought after market. A lot of people are moving here. So we actually run recruiting ads in other states. So like I run social media ads in other big cities to try to get people to want to move to Denver because it's a place that a lot of people want to move. And so a lot of our recruiting comes from out of state. We're finding people before they actually move to Denver. And so then that way, when they get here, they're already with High Five. So I think between our training program and then our social media presence, we're very big on social media with Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. And we just we have people messaging all the time looking to, from other states looking to come to work for us at some point.
Nice. Yeah, I think that's the method that Tommy Mello and others like him use, is using social media to promote your company to customers as well as to recruit. When, you see happy customers, you see happy employees. So do you do a employee of the month or whatever have you? Are you promoting employees on your social also?
Yeah. So our social is I like to say nobody cares about plumbing. And that's just like what it is. Like when you see a lot of our plumbing in our brand, you'll see that there's no plumbing on a lot of our stuff. It's just the High Five. And that's because the truth is nobody cares about plumbing until they need it. So we really focus our social media as more of a reality TV type of model. Like we want people to see what it's going to be like in a day if you worked at High Five. Perfect. Because once again, the customers that are going to follow you, they already like you. They're following you. So they already know how you operate. And so really, everybody who follows your business is most likely people who like and know you or other people who want to do what you're doing. So that's why we use our social media as really just like a real reality TV. This is what it's like to be in a life of High Five. So when we're recruiting people, we can defer them to our social media and they can go back and scroll through social media for the last 5, 6, 7, 8 years because we've been so consistent and see that, it's not lip service. They could go back and look on social media that we've been operating this way for a long time.
For years. Nice. Congrats. So you have a social media marketing person in-house, Levi, or?
We do. So we like to keep our brand, very much our feel. That's how we feel we could get so involved in the community is we have a marketing director. So we have a marketing director who is in charge of all of our third-party partnerships. So Yelp, Home Advisor, Angie's List, any of those third-party, people that you ever work with to generate leads. That person also works with our our PPC company and our SEO company.
Okay.
They also work with them. She is then also manages and is in charge of 3 other positions, which is the recruiter. So we have a full-time person that's constantly calling people, trying to create relationships for people who, whether they come to work for us now or in 6 months, we want them to think of us when that time comes.
I like it.
Then we have what we call a community outreach coordinator. The community outreach coordinator is the person who goes into all the networking events. They're the ones who operate the High Five Cares program, which is our community give back program, which is a big part of how we're in the community. So that's the community outreach coordinator. And then we have a creative content coordinator who just makes all of our videos, all of our audio, all of our visual stuff. So that's our marketing team that we have in-house.
I like it. That's a good model for everybody out there. And I'm a firm believer, you got to bring social media in-house. It's the one thing I would not hire out, whatever you can bring in-house is usually, well, who knows? There's an argument for both sides. But social media is definitely one you need to bring in-house.
And what I've found a lot of the times with social media is there's most likely somebody on your staff that would love to do it anyways, because people like it. And so you probably have somebody in-house who already knows the feel of your brand and your company and would be more than willing to take that role on and help. It's just you have to be willing to have the conversations and be confident enough to know what you're expecting your social media to look like. That's a lot of people, like I said, think social media is to generate revenue. We don't try to generate any jobs from social media, really. We don't. It's a branding thing. We're in front of people's eyeballs and it's to get employees.
Yeah, I agree completely. Like you said, plumbing, nobody cares about plumbing until something breaks. What they do care about is your culture, right? So they see
Yep.
your culture day after day being displayed, how much your team loves working there, how much your customers love your team. And that's, when my plumbing breaks, if I'm hitting social media, that's what I'm looking for, right? I'm looking for a company with great culture. Speaking of, so let's talk about High Five Colorado, right? So your nonprofit work within the community is pretty impressive on your website. I don't want to dampen it at all, so I'll let you spew out the knowledge. Tell us all about how'd you get started in that? What do you guys do? What's the goal of it all?
Yeah, so the High Five Cares program it was created because me and my wife have always been pretty dedicated to tithing, giving back to the community, that part of our lives. And so we wanted to incorporate it into our business, but we wanted it to be very intentional. We wanted it to be like for a purpose and for a reason. And so in March of 2018, me and my wife sat down and we're just like, hey, let's just pick a nonprofit here in Denver and let's just spotlight them. Like we'll just go volunteer as a team there. We'll put social media posts. We'll put them in our newsletter. We'll have our technicians talk about them with our customers. And so we just started it. We really just kind of started giving back. When we started it, a lot of people said we were way too small. We were only doing about $1 million in revenue probably at the time when we started giving back. And we loved it. It's been a great program, and it started to evolve, and it started to get to where it was its own kind of entity. You know what I mean? Where we now had nonprofits calling us to become a part of it. So really it was started in March of 2018, and every month we would choose a different nonprofit and we would go volunteer there. We would just a volunteer event, whether it was making meals or packing bags or sorting clothes, or we would just always try to volunteer there. And it really was, like I said, we wanted to get our team behind it. We wanted to, one of our vital values is have gratitude. And it really did create a gratitude type of mindset when you are constantly seeing that people in your community are struggling. And
Right.
and when you see the difference you could make, everybody always thinks that it's money that you need to have. Oh, I don't have money to donate. But 99% of the time, it's time. Like it's
Yep.
time, and they need bodies. They need people to help sort things. And so our teams jumped on it. We've even gotten it to the point where if we roll out a volunteer event, we have some clients even that ask to come and be a part of the volunteer events.
Nice.
So the program's really evolved. We've now gotten it to where we actually feature the nonprofits now for 2 months in a row because we wanted to start to create a little bit more deeper relationships, like get a little
Right.
bit more knowledge and function and see what we can do in the long term type of thing. So now we pick 6 candidates a year and we feature them for 2 months, and we do 2 volunteer events now with them. And it's really allowed us to now start to pinpoint and create relationships with some nonprofits that we really feel are making a huge difference here in town.
Nice. Congrats, man. Hats off to you. That's good work. Do you ask for volunteers from your team, or, where you're going to put time into the nonprofit, or, on an event or something that they're doing? Do you ask for volunteers, or is it mandatory? How do you work that with your employees?
Yeah, so our volunteer events are 100% volunteer events. Like if it's an event that's during your workday, well, then you would need to request the day off and go to the volunteer event. We work with all of our employees on that because we highly encourage people to volunteer. And so, but it is a volunteer. Like we're not going to pay you to go volunteer your time because we have enough people who will volunteer. So
Right.
we once again, now this is a culture we've built because of consistency. You can't give money back 1 month and then go 6 months and not give money back again. Or you can't not give money back because you had a bad month. You know what I'm saying? We created consistency, which created the culture of this is how High Five is going to operate. And so now when people come here, they know they see these things. It's on the walls everywhere, and we actually do an interview with our technicians before they sit down to do an interview. We take them on a tour of the entire warehouse, the entire everything. We take them through the CARES program, the marketing program, the dispatch room, the call center room, because we want them to make sure that when they sit down and talk to their manager, that they know what they're stepping into. Like what are you what we're going to expect? Because once again, we have a lot of fun, but because we are systematized, it's pretty easy to know what you have to do to be successful.
Nice. Nice. So I see in I don't know what you guys call it, but your annual service agreement, that you have also negotiated discounts with a lot of local suppliers, a lot of local companies, which I love. I thought that was really a smart work. So like a little group buying program, but it's embedded into your annual service agreement. So they've got their annual plumbing inspection. They've got their annual camera sewer inspection. You're going to cover some work there, of course. How's that working out what prompted you to do the group buying kind of thing, the discounts with other suppliers? How's that working out for you and for them? And then, what motivated you to go down that road?
Yeah, so our club membership, our High Five club membership is pretty unique because of some of those things. And so really what happened is back in 2016, when I decided to switch to service, I went to a blue collar event and I was the only plumbing company there that didn't have a service agreement. And so it made it a little bit of a struggle because most of the companies that had a really solid service agreement had HVAC as well, because that's a very big value builder, servicing your HVAC and your furnace. But in plumbing, your water heater is really the only thing that you can service. Everything else is just checking. And so we wanted to make sure that our membership was a value to customers. And so that's when we said, well, what if we were to get just all people who were home service providers and go interview them and vet them and visit their property and make sure that their values and everything align with ours, and then create a partnership with where then our club members can get a discount from them. And so we really started with just like four, like a mechanic, an HVAC company, and a window cleaner. And it worked well. We were generating work for them. Our customers were getting now vetted people that they felt they could trust because they trusted us. And then it started to just once again evolve, to where now you can get a fencing company, a roofing company, a landscaper, tile, carpet. I mean, it's anything in your home as a homeowner. If it breaks, somebody on our list will give you a discount, and that we have had conversations with them to make sure that we think that they're going to treat you the same way we treat you. So we really wanted it to create a value. And so we didn't want it to just be a discount program. We didn't want people to just buy it to just get the discount. And now we got it to where we sell clubs at about 30% rate. We're selling club memberships.
Nice. So 30% of your service calls turn into a service agreement.
Yep.
Nice. Good work, man. Very good work. How about, do any of those other companies reciprocate and send out an email blast recommending you guys or anything like that, social media?
Yeah, it's evolved. Like I said, when we first started, we didn't require anything from our partners other than to treat our customers right. But it has evolved now to where we do require them to have a backlink on their website to us. We do have to go out in their monthly newsletters. There has to be a link to tie back to us as a partner of theirs. And we've also now started to require a small fee for some of the branding and marketing stuff that we pay for. So like we have a brochure that we give every customer we go into that we put all the partners on. And so we get the cost of those brochures covered from just a small fee from our partners.
Nice. Cooperative advertising. Man, I love that link exchange idea. So that is super powerful for the listeners out there on an SEO, search engine optimization standpoint. You guys have an awesome website, by the way. What's your website to give it out so people can look at that and as a model for what
it's
to
www. Yeah, it's just High Five Plumbing. That's HIGH, the number 5 plumbing.com. Like I said, we've put a lot of work into our website to make sure that it's our fill and what we want our customers to know how we operate. And so definitely, if anybody has any questions on our website, you can feel free to reach us on any of our social medias as well. Facebook and Instagram, it's just at High Five Plumbing, HIGH, the number 5. And our marketing team is, like I said, we're a pretty open book because we don't like to really hold too many of our secrets, because I really believe that if you're scared about people stealing your ideas, then you're not coming up with enough good ideas. And so, we're pretty much like, we're willing to help people just get better. And if they think we're doing a great job, then we'll help them figure out a way to incorporate what we do.
Nice. Good mojo, man. Yeah. Well, the site is a great example of how to construct a site. But going back to the links, so in SEO, search engine optimization world, for the listeners out there, first and foremost, it's your content, right? So great informational content, not a service page about water heater repair, but the other 10 pages about how to size a water heater, whatever, how to flush one, so on and so forth. Show them how to do what you do. They want to see that you know how to do what you're doing. But then the other thing besides content is links to that content from other websites. And they go in this kind of an order. Local links to your site from other established businesses, super, super powerful. And then from there, industry related links. So do you guys belong to like the Colorado State Plumbers Association or something like that? Or the local chamber of commerce or things like that?
Yeah, most of the local chambers were part of those. We're definitely part of all those. So we definitely have the backlinks in their websites as well.
Brilliant, man. Yeah, that's a brilliant strategy. I didn't even think of it when I was looking at it as a backlink strategy, but and I'm sure that's not why you created it. You didn't even care if they were reciprocating, which is great. Just go out and find great companies and give a little bit more than what your competitors are doing. That's a brilliant idea.
And another thing we've done that's marketing wise that we feel is pretty unique is, through our softwares, most people's softwares nowadays, you can create tracking numbers, like an individual tracking number. So
definitely
every nonprofit that we feature and every preferred partner we have gets a tracking number. And every time we receive a call from a new customer, not an existing customer, but a new customer, then we give them $25. So ultimately, it's like if you think about how much you pay per lead from Google, that $25 lead to that nonprofit is going to make a drastic difference for them. But it's also hugely helping us because now I don't have to pay Google for a lot of those referrals. So we now have tracking numbers to all of our nonprofits. That way, at the end of the year, we can show them, hey, look at how many leads you gave us, and then give them a bonus for all the leads they generated for us. So we really have got it to where we have a lot of where we feel like individual marketing teams that are out telling the high five story because of what we do in the community.
Yeah, you've got a networked marketing monster out there. That's brilliant. Yeah. So do you give them some marketing materials then, Levi, with the phone number on it or something like that?
Yeah. So like all the nonprofits, we set up a stand in their shops with like a card with the tracking number on it.
Yeah.
And then any email blast we send for that month has their tracking number in it as well. But it's funny you say network marketing because I actually have a really big background in network marketing. Before I started my plumbing company, I was in multi-level marketing and was very heavy in that for about 5 years and had a lot of success. And so it's a very similar structure. Like if you can reward other people for helping you, then I'm going to pay them. It's going to save me a lot of money because Google's much more expensive than if a nonprofit who's wanting to just put me out in their newsletter every month, even when I don't feature them, because they get $25 if somebody calls that phone number.
Yeah, they've got motivation. So yeah, brilliant. So yeah, you've taken a lot of the network marketing secrets and tips and tricks and carried them over. Great to see, man. So, much of it is unique that I haven't seen other companies using. And since I started the podcast, I get to see a lot of, what other guys and women are doing out there. So yeah, hats off to you. That's great stuff. Is there a service within the plumbing world that you guys absolutely love to do? Like we love doing repipes and we want to do everything we can to do repipes. So do you have a target or you don't care?
We want stuff that's going to take under a day usually. Like some repipes we don't want because it may take 3-4 days. So repipes we'll bid them, but our niche is any job that we can finish in a 1-day span. So like that could be, it could be a 5 toilet replacement, one house and replacing 5 toilets is going to take you most of a day, a full faucet replacement. So instead of just replacing one bathroom sink faucet, we're replacing all the bathroom sink faucets in the house that day. So, but if I had to say though, our little sweet spot is actually, we always want to be ranked number 1 in garbage disposals and sump pump. Like those are our two categories that we love to be top ranked in because very easy labor, not real tedious on your body, but they're a high ticket. They're a higher ticket as far as amount of money you can make on those.
Nice. And it sounds like you're doing PPC, you're doing Facebook ads, Google ads, Yelp, Home Advisor, Angie's. How about mailer, direct mail? Do you do the Valpak or your own direct mail, postcards, any of that stuff?
Yeah, we do our own postcards. We do still do direct mailing. We do direct mailing to our existing clients, and we also do cold direct mailing to just warm areas of the city that we're doing well in. And then we use a lot of direct mailing for when we're opening new locations. So now that we're opening in Golden, we'll do a lot of direct mailing for the first 6, 7, 8 months there. Cold direct mailing just to get people know that we're in the area. But no, we really do. We try to dip our toe in every marketing platform.
Yeah.
Our rule of thumb is if we're getting a 3-to-1 return, then we'll continue to do that marketing until it doesn't get us a 3-to-1. We'll continue to push more money into that marketing until we don't see that return. We have been in heavy growth mode. So once again, most companies aren't going to continue to do that, but we've been wanting to grow over the last 3-4 years is why we market that way, which is, we use Angie's List and Home Advisor, those as more of fillers. Oh, the schedule's light today, turn those on. Not the highest quality leads, but if you have a good team and your team's trained, then you can still make money on it.
Yeah, get the trucks rolling. So list them in your favorite. So direct mail, radio. What's your least favorite, most favorite method of marketing?
So right now, our I'll just hound it again, like organic. Start doing everything you can to build your organic. So
Yes.
Make sure if you don't have YouTube videos, start making YouTube videos. Like we have YouTube videos of how to service your water heater. So that way on our website, we can put the link to our YouTube video, which is our YouTube page. So
Right.
just do whatever you can, put the time and energy in to start to building your organic. Because right now our organic is crushing all other marketing.
Nice.
So after that, our number one is PPC, but that's because of our great website, which portrays our culture, helps PPC be very, very productive and well. And then believe it or not, Yelp, man, Yelp is one of our top ones. I believe if you have a good culture and a good reputation and you're designed to be a client experience company, not a revenue generating company, a client experience company, then you'll kill it on Yelp.
Right. I like it. Do you have, so response rate on Yelp is really big. How do you guys handle that?
So we have a 4-person call center that works on a rotating shift. So every day there's somebody who's dedicated to outbound leads and there's somebody who's dedicated to inbound leads.
Perfect.
So the person who's dedicated to outbound leads handles all of anywhere where we're going to have to now make contact outward. So Angie's List, eLocal, any of those ones where they're sending people to us. So Yelp falls into that.
Gotcha. So let's talk. When did you bring on the Blue Collar Success Group again? What year?
The January of 2016 is when I started working with the Blue Collar Success Group.
Oh, so like really close, right? When was your open date again? Same year?
Well, so I opened High Five Plumbing in 2012, but when we started service, from day one of switching to service, okay. I've been with the Blue Collar Success Group. So we switched to service in 2016. And at that time, before I even switched to service, I signed up with the Blue Collar.
Gotcha. When you're going from new construction to service. Boy, new construction in 2010, 11, 12. Well, I'm not familiar with the Denver area, of course, but it had to be kind of light, no? Or just starting again?
It was just starting to come up. It was mostly a lot of remodels. The market was coming back. People were starting to redo their basements again. And so we were doing, I don't know, probably 10 to 20 basements a week. We had a pretty big crew at the point. It just was the same problem with a lot of new construction. Come the end of 2015, we went to throw our Christmas party and I said, well, let's go have it here. And my wife's like, we don't have any money for that. And I'm like, well, wait a minute. Like we should. And she's like, yeah, we should. No, but nobody's paid us yet. And so then it was like it's like you're fighting to win the job and then you were fighting to get paid. And so like I said, 2016, we fired 30 of our 35 contractors that we worked with. We kept the 5 that paid us on time to try to kind of bridge the gap. And then about 10 months later, we were able to completely eliminate the construction side.
Yeah, good for you. Service is definitely where it's at. New construction has its heyday, but it's super cyclical, and I didn't even realize that the problem with payment existed. Of course it does. You're dealing with companies, right? So 90 days, 60 days, 120 days. Maybe never. Who knows?
Yeah, and then somebody didn't send the right email. So then, and it's not you. Your email got sent, but that person. And so then it was just, there was so many people that were involved with the money exchange that's when I was like, man, service is the way to go. I'm talking to a homeowner or I'm talking to a landlord and we're going to get this solved today and it's going to get solved today.
Yeah, and you're going to get paid today. I was asking you for when you brought on the blue collar success group because some of the key metrics are your booking rate, your conversion rate, right? So I was wondering what happened to those two metrics when you started training your people so in depth. Do you mind sharing what, good, great, you don't have to share your own. What would you say a plumbing company should have as a booking rate?
Yeah, so I believe that a good booking rate for a service plumbing company should be at least 80 or higher. We like to sit around 85 at high five. That's about where we feel our sweet spot is because we also do charge a service call fee. So,
Oh, that's pretty good then, man.
Exactly. So, we really feel like that's where you should be. That's where we expect our people to be 85 or higher. But I think if you're at 80, then you're doing well as a company.
Yeah, that's really good. That's especially if you're not doing free estimates. So that's really good, Levi. And
yeah,
then
well, we do the.
Go ahead.
Sorry, we use our service call fee as a tool. So we always will try to get the service call fee, and if the customer says, "Oh no, I don't want it," then we depend. If we're slow, then cool. Then we'll say, "Cool, we'll put it towards work." But if we're busy, then we just say, "Okay, sorry, we can't do that right now." So we use it as more of a tool. So we do waive it if we need to, if during slow times. But as far as conversion rate goes, that was a drastic difference because I don't want to say it was a drastic difference, but we didn't run a lot of service. So all of our service pre 2016 was just from like homeowners, and it was time and material, and it was very easy to just get it. So we had a really high conversion rate in service when we ran new construction because it was easy, just whatever time I was there, whatever the material.
Yeah, different
but
world.
Once we started to track it from 2016 to 2018, we really didn't see anything different, like not in revenue generated, but I think that was mostly because of my own doing, because I tried to keep all of my same management and all of my same people in place from new construction.
I see.
And so from 2016 to 2018, we just stayed very stagnant, not a ton of growth. And so it's tough because I felt like we were trying to put a round peg in a square hole when I had a bunch of people who were designed for new construction and remodels. So now not only am I trying to train technicians how to do service, but I'm also trying to train managers how to manage it. Right. And so I really now as a company, we expect our technicians to be at 70, which is actually low for a plumbing demand company. Plumbing service demand, I expect 75 probably. But us as a company, our average ticket is pretty high. We have about a $1,700 average ticket as a plumbing company. Great. So that's why we're okay with 70, with a 1,700 average ticket.
Yeah, that's a big average ticket. I've got experience in the industry with, clients. And so that's really good, Levi. What do you credit that average ticket to?
It goes back to the client experience. You know what I'm saying? The blue collar. Once again, I keep going back to the blue collar because that's what we train. You have to do 10 steps. So in the blue collar, there's the 12 steps to the ultimate client experience. And so in that experience, you have to perform 10 of those steps before you get to become a plumber. So if you're not good at performing these 10 steps before you start doing plumbing work, then you're not going to ever get to do plumbing work. You're never going to get to do it. And so what we build 3 to 5 options on every single job. And we spend 35 minutes before we start building quotes on every single job. That's our goal. So from the time we arrive to the job to when we start building our first estimate, we try to hit 35 minutes. That usually gets us around the whole house. And now your options are usually a lot better because we're forcing our guys to learn to slow down, learn to spend more time, which is complete opposite of most places where they're like, run more calls, get to the next one, where we know we want you to run 2 to 3 calls a day. And you should be spending 2 to 4 hours on every job.
Nice. You're the only second person to say those words to me. And Tommy Mello, I don't know if you know him, A1 Garage Door, he's a legend in the home service industry. So in his book, Elevate, he talked about slow down to show the value. If you're running 6, 7, 8 jobs a day, stop doing that. Cut it in half. Put in your checklist. So, the client sees the value and you're providing the value. So, man, hats off to you, dude. You're doing it all right, Levi.
Yeah. And like, even if in a day, if we have a technician, let's say there's 3 calls on a technician and he goes through those 3 calls by noon, even if there's more calls for him to run, we won't let him run them. We'll call him back to the shop and we'll want to know what's happened, like what is, because that's not normal. And so where a lot of other companies, I think, would just give them another opportunity,
Yeah.
where you got to find out what's happening, because it's not normal to go through 3 calls and not get one of those people to choose us with the way
Right.
we're structured and the way we're designed.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Good. Always back to the training. I love it. How about, you mentioned the rates. So flat rate, time and materials. What do you guys do? What do you prefer?
Yeah, so we were time and material, like I said, and then even when we first switched to service, we didn't switch to flat rate right away. It took us a little bit of time, but
It's a
we're a
lot of
flat
work.
rate company. Yeah, we're flat rate now. We've built our own price book to this point now, so we have an in-house price book that we keep and maintain and edit. But yeah, we're a flat rate price company that's based off of billable hours.
Nice. And customers prefer upfront knowing what the dollar figure is, right?
Yep.
And
Yeah,
no
no, we
overtime,
found that. Yeah,
no
we
hidden
found that.
fees, no
Yeah,
overtime
all that.
fees. This is our rate. Boom.
Exactly. And what it is now you can be very upfront. Like now it's like
Right.
now you have to be able to train your technicians on how to properly evaluate a job, because if they
Right.
misevaluate a job, and now
Right.
that's what makes people upset, is you have a technician that goes in there and he says, "Oh, this is what I think needs to solve it." And then that's not the solution. Well, then you try to create another solution, and that's a problem, where they
Yep.
needed to slow down and spend the more time to create that permanent solution up front. And that's where I think a lot of people get that disconnect, is they say they're flat rate, but then their technician goes in there and says, "Oh, it's going to be this much to fix it." But then that didn't fix it. So then they say, "Oh, wait, nope, now it's going to be this much to fix it," which is, it's still a flat rate, but it's no different than if it was just changing every
Yeah.
time I wanted it to change.
Yeah. 100%. If you hit me with a second job and a second rate, you're never going to see me again. I can tell you that.
Yeah, and I
You'll
may
leave
do it
the
right
house.
now.
I will not call you again.
Yeah, and like I said, you may do it right now because we're already started and the
Right.
project's going. But yeah, I'm not going to return your call. Like I'm going to give somebody else a try next time. And
100%.
so that
Yeah. Because it felt dishonest up front. It's so, like you say, A, training, B, slow down, get it right. Because yeah, your pay and the company's profits depend on the technician diagnosing the problem properly. Let's talk software. So obviously you got quite the machine going there. Service Titan, what are you guys using?
Yeah, Service Titan is what we use. And we integrate most of what Service Titan has to offer. We do try to utilize the platform as much as we can. I believe that it's a value builder. Once again, like that's another thing that sets you apart. Like everybody has software now, but we can send tracking links. So now our customers can track our technician right to their door. So that's
Nice.
something that most people can't say they can do. So yeah, we love Service Titan. We've been with Service Titan since 2017. When we first switched to service, we just used a small little software, but very quickly we saw how we wanted to grow and what we wanted to do. So we switched to Service Titan, so that way we didn't have to do it at a later date.
Yeah, nice. Software can make all the difference in the world. So let's get close to wrapping it up here, I guess, Levi. So let's give Cassie some credit. So is that your wife?
Yeah, so Cassie's my wife. She's the vice president, CFO of the company. She makes sure that we have all the stuff we need to keep growing and going. And so, yeah, she's been a vital part of everything High Five's done to this point. She's actually has a degree in elementary school education. And so a lot of your culture you see is very much based off of elementary school, how you can get people to want to be a part of a group. It's no different than a school teacher. So she's been a big part of creating the culture here at High Five.
Nice work. Nice work. Do you guys sit down and crunch the numbers, dissect, and, getting into the P&L, income and expense? Are you looking at numbers often?
We are. Every month we have our monthly review. Normally we sit down, go through all that. We do have our business coaches as well through Blue Collar that help us go through all of that as well. So we definitely, it's a unique dynamic when your wife is the CFO and the kind of financial operator of the business that you're the operator for. So definitely a pretty unique relationship we have. But yeah, like I said, we're on pace to do under 10 million in revenue this year.
Nice.
We're on pace to do about 9.8. So yeah, so we definitely feel like we have a good little recipe for success here.
Yeah, it sounds like it to me, man. It looks like it on the surface as well. So, good work, Levi. So if there was something that you wish you knew, when you started that today, what would one or two of those things be? What advice would you give out to guys and gals just starting out now?
So the number one advice I would give is don't be afraid to ask for help. Like that's key. Like everybody wants to try to do their own thing. They want to, like, they have a chip on their shoulder and they want to prove they can do it their way. The bottom line is most ways have been done. So if you just ask people for help, they're going to tell you how they did it. It's now your job to make it your way, And so, like I said, I started my company in 2012 and I tried to do it all myself for the first 2 years. And I struggled. And it wasn't until I started to get people to help me that I was able to actually get a business now that was not just all functioning off of Levi's brain. Right. I was able to start to create a business. And so ask for help. Don't be afraid to try to get a coach. Reach out to people. If you think high five is what you want to create, then reach out to me on social media. We want, like I said, most entrepreneurs want to help. But most people have to initiate that conversation to get the ball rolling. So don't be afraid to just somebody you see as a mentor, shoot them a message on social media. If they don't respond, 3 months, shoot another one. But don't be afraid to ask for help, because that's how you're going to find those little keys to success, those little nuggets.
Yeah, great advice. Great advice. How do people reach you, Levi? So if you got plumbers out there who want to check you out, or customers, where do they go?
So like I said, social medias are the fastest, easiest way to kind of get a good look of high five and to get quick interaction. So definitely Instagram and Facebook. We also have our website, highfiveplumbing.com. You could give us a call. Our office can help you get any interview set up. And if you just want, our number is 877 we high five. So that's just 877 and then we high five. So nice. Definitely just give us a call, reach out on social media. But definitely we're always hiring all levels. New. If you're looking to just get into the trade, or if you've been in the trade for 15 years, we have a spot that we can place you at high five.
I like that. I like how you're meeting all those levels of experience for the plumber, the techs themselves out there. That's great. You ever think of going HVAC, or you're fine in your lane?
No, I own the trademark for high five heating and air, and I also own the trademark for high five electric. So I don't want to say it's out of the realm, but we have such a small market share in plumbing that there's been no need. I haven't felt like we've had a need. But I do believe that when the time does happen, based off of our culture and our return client experience, I believe that we will be able to do really well when we do roll out HVAC.
Yeah, that's a good thought process. I don't mean to keep bringing him up again, but Tommy Mello said, I was talking to him because I have some clients who want to expand, and he was like, listen, man, he goes, it ain't easy, growing organically, taking somebody over. So until you own 10% of your market, don't open up another location, And I thought that was really, really good advice. Okay, Levi, I'll let you close us out, so I don't have all the right questions and stuff. How would you like to close out the show? Any info you'd like to give out there? Comments, suggestions, whatever have you. You got the floor, my friend.
Yeah, no, like I said, thanks for having me. I love sharing my knowledge and what I've learned over my, last 11 years in business. But yeah, like I said, find yourself a mentor, find yourself somebody who you can call and vent to when you have a rough day, and they're going to just know what you're going through. You know what I mean? That's vital. A lot of the times entrepreneurs they feel alone. And they feel like they don't. And so find a mentor. Like really, my mentor is Kenny Chapman, the founder of Blue Collar. I've really leaned on him a lot. And a lot of the times I don't know if I could have kept growing. I don't know if I could have kept going and doing what I was trying to do if I didn't have somebody who was there for me to help me get through those really tough times. Because like Tommy said, it's hard. It's hard work. And if you think that growing is just going to be the key to making your life easier, that's not the case. It's a different life, but it's not always an easier life. And so if you want to do it, then make sure that you find somebody who's going to be there to help you make sure you do the steps the right way. And so that's why I'm so grateful that when I decided to switch to service, that I pushed my ego to the side and said, I'm going to find a coach, because I want to be able to have somebody who I know is going to be there and it can say, yes, I've seen this happen. And I would recommend this, or I'd recommend that. Yeah,
that's super great advice. Really push the ego aside, find some help. For you, it was Kenny Chapman, Blue Collar Success Group. Again, go back. I forgot already. 124, I think was the episode. Go listen. That was Chris, actually, we interviewed. But yeah, super impressed with that company. And yeah, we all need help. We all need a mentor. We all need to delegate that which we're not good at. So I can't thank you enough, Levi, for coming on the show, sharing your, knowledge bombs with the audience out there. So on behalf of them, hats off to you, man. Thank you very much, sir.
Yes, thank you. And we'll talk to you soon.
All right. Sounds good. Thanks to our listeners out there for sharing their time and attention with us. If you like what you heard, please rate, review, subscribe to our podcast so you can notify the future episodes. Feel free to share this one on your social channels. Good luck out there and create a great day.
Thanks for listening to the Battle Plan Marketing Podcast. To power up your home service business, for show notes, visit battleplanmarketing.com/podcast. If you enjoyed our show, please share it on social. Until next time.